I'm not kidding. We can't just leave them.
Leave who?
The hostages! Ow! What is that?
That's to stop the bleeding, and hopefully the talking.
Okay, everybody, you have just seen a clip from Lockout, a movie starring Guy Pearce as an ex-government agent who basically breaks someone out of an outer space prison. Sounds just like the King's Speech, doesn't it? We have Guy Pearce here today to tell us what it was like in 2079. What do we have to look forward to in this future?
Well, I mean, the idea of prisons being in outer space and all our prisoners being asleep out there is something that is a little daunting, I imagine. I mean, obviously the prison system is something that clearly needs a bit of assessment, and I don't know whether that's the way to go with it, but it certainly seemed like a compelling and realistic idea to me.
So they're all of these prisoners are, what do they call, stasis?
Stasis, that's right. They've sort of been put to sleep, and obviously in our story, Maggie Grace, who plays the president's daughter, heads out there on I guess a humanitarian mission just to make sure that they're being treated fairly whilst being asleep. So, I mean, it's pretty much an entertainment-oriented film. It's not meant to be a heady analysis of
well, that's wrong.
Human
That's
race.
how I saw it.
Really?
I saw the 2001 Space Odyssey allusions to everybody being asleep. You know, that's just the way it is.
Well, maybe Luc Besson wanted some people to see that.
If you want them to feel that way. But you are this kind of Bruce Willis, Die Hard, Kurt Russell, Escape from New York kind of hero who's a real smartass. Yes. This guy has got an answer for everybody.
Yeah, this was what appealed to me about it. I mean, it was the idea. I didn't want to play. I'm not really interested in playing a sort of an action hero who takes himself too seriously, because I couldn't seriously take myself in that way. So I think the idea that he has a sense of humour, and I mean, he's obviously cynical, and I wanted it to be a three-dimensional character. I didn't just want him to have the snappy one-liners just for the sake of the film. So, we sort of had some discussions about what his past might have been, and, the fact that he's probably lived through a series of, pretty heavy situations as an ex-special operations kind of guy. And he's just got to the point now where he's kind of cynical, and he doesn't care for this kind of work anymore, and he certainly doesn't care for the president's daughter. And so he has this attitude that, enabled him to be funny, I guess. And our two directors were very clear that they wanted a character who was entertaining and amusing, essentially. So, God knows why they came to me, but they wrote some pretty funny lines. So.
Who sent you?
Your old man did.
Did he have a message for me?
Yes, you are adopted.
What the hell are you doing?
I am bringing you back from the dead.
I was dead.
Yeah, and so far, I think I prefer you that way.
Oh, you don't have to do that. The simple thank you is enough.
Isn't there something behind this guy that the smartass is just covering up?
Absolutely,
yeah.
And as I say, I think at the beginning of the film we see a close friend of his die, and we see the way in which he deals with that, and I guess the humour and this kind of attitude is a way of masking that, and I guess it's a fairly typical male quality to repress serious emotions.
How do you prep for a movie like this, where you've got whoa, I can take it all on?
Look, I think the thing about this guy is he has some skills, he has the training, and I just wanted all of that stuff to be able to come to him really naturally, even though he has such disdain for it and has no interest in it, and he feels old and he feels the pain of getting thumped, and all of this stuff that normally most action heroes kind of brush off with sort of great aplomb. I wanted him to kind of feel every hit, and so it was a lot of physical training, really, a lot of just going to the gym and
is that what you do?
Buffing up.
What do you eat?
Well, I was in Serbia, so I'm not actually sure what it was I was eating. I had a lot of it.
What do you do in night out in Serbia?
Well, I mean, for me, I was going to the gym because
that was it. Working during the day.
Nights at the gym, but no, there's a lot of clubs in Serbia. They were
really?
Out for a good time. Yeah, I had a lot of big, burly, scary guys at the gym saying, "Come on, we go out, we go and pick up chicks," and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm right, thanks. I've got to go to work first thing in the morning."
Out with them one night.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I went out
so
with our
sad.
crew. I went out with our crew. I was a little nervous to be out with strangers. I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. And I kept being, Gerard Butler had been there a few months beforehand with Ray Fiennes doing Coriolanus, and I kept being reminded by everybody in the town how tough Gerard Butler was, and how what a womanizer he was, and what a drinker he was, and that I couldn't live up to the sort of the this myth of Gerard Butler. So I was constantly reminded about how useless I was in Serbia. But it was fun.
What a great morale boost.
No, absolutely.
Here I am,
well, you know,
I'm
Gerard Butler, he drinks this much, and Gerard Butler, he's out with all his women, and Gerard Butler, he's out till 4 in the morning. I'm like, yes, okay, I get it.
The fire that danced at the end of that match was a gift from the Titan Prometheus. A gift that he stole from the gods when Prometheus was caught and brought to justice for his theft. The gods, well, you might say they overreacted a little.
Also, this summer you have Prometheus.
Yes, yes. Isn't that an anticipated movie?
I know whenever somebody in that movie comes here, I think it was Charlize Theron the last time, she said, "Shut up." That's what I'm telling you about Prometheus.
Cannot say a thing.
But you know.
You know you're going to get something out of me,
I know I'm
don't you?
getting something out of it. But there's a viral video out there.
There is.
There is. And
Peter
we can
Weyland.
all see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know you're playing Peter Weyland.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they wanted to do this, I guess, to establish some
100,000 BC.
the ideas and some of the philosophy behind the actual story of the film. And I think also to take it out of the realm of it just being an Alien prequel. I mean, everyone knows it's connected to Alien, there's no doubt about it, and Ridley openly talks about the fact that that's where it began for him. But I think during the process, the ideas kind of got bigger and bigger, and he's had 30 odd years to think about what his next science fiction movie might be about. And so why not tie it to Alien? As I say, that's where it kind of began. But, you know, without giving too much away, to delve into the human psychology and the idea of where perhaps we all came from is a wonderful idea if you really can capture it in the world of sci-fi. And I think this is what Ridley's aiming to do in Prometheus.